What is up, everybody? Logan here with another video coming right at you today. I appreciate all the support as always. We're having another sponsored video. This company is actually in the psychedelic space. They're in one of those sectors, right, that's a little controversial, like pot stocks. Some people believe in them, some people don't. And then also, the gambling stocks as well. We have the ETFs with it. We have DraftKings. That's something that you guys should definitely keep in mind when watching this video, but I appreciate the support as always. And the sponsored videos are what allow me to produce so much content for you guys, so I appreciate all the support and I hope you guys gain some value out of this video. Now let's hop right over to the computer. It's another sponsored video that I'm extremely grateful for, so I appreciate all the support as always. If you guys could leave a like, a comment, and subscribe before we get into this one, it would help the channel out tremendously. So we're going to talk about MYND today. This is the ticker on the Canadian Stock Exchange, or the CSE, under MYND, or also MYND, if you think about it that way. As mental health deteriorates worldwide, the estimated 28.6 billion antidepressant market looks long overdue for a revolution. For example, could help transform the treatment of major depressive disorder for approximately 264 million people around the world. Worldwide, mental health is on the decline. Nearly 264 million people are struggling with depression, for example. While some of us may be better at hiding our depression than others, it can be a real struggle, especially with the potential anxiety, irritability, and hopelessness. Robin Williams, for example, spent his life making people laugh themselves silly while dealing with issues of severe depression. A dear friend of mine who always has a smile on her face in public often wants to be left alone struggling with depression for years. Many even put on a face so others aren't aware of how they really feel. It's not fun, it's not easy. Besides, it often gets old telling people I'm okay when you're not. To help alleviate the symptoms of depression, many turn to antidepressants such as SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. About 13% of Americans aged 12 and up are currently on medications to help reduce those symptoms. The problem is SSRIs aren't always helpful, focusing more on a symptom suppression than the root cause, which I do agree with right there, because anytime you take antidepressants, it changes the chemical makeup of your brain. Making matters worse, over the last 20 years, we've seen very little innovation on them. According to The Guardian, the number of psychopharmacological drug research programs and larger drug firms have shrunk by 70% in the last decade. There are a few companies who have maintained efforts in the area, but 70% tells you it's been a pretty remarkable departure. Many withdrew from neuroscience entirely. Of course, that needs to change. That being said, the pharmaceutical industry is overdue for a massive game-changing revolution when it comes to mental health care. Fortunately, that revolution may have already begun thanks to companies like MYND LIFE SCIENCES. Mental health deteriorating, the roughly 28.6 billion antidepressant market could be long overdue for sweeping revolutionary changes. Right now, about 264 million people are struggling with depression worldwide. Number 3, to help deal with depression, many turn to antidepressants. Number 4, about 13% of Americans aged 12 and up are currently on medications. Unfortunately, many SSRIs focus more on symptom suppression than the root cause. These approximately 264 million patients may have a new innovative way to treat their major depressive disorder. So that's just some to name, right? And it's something that's really interesting. I like this idea of, natural-based medicines. You guys know I'm already passionate about this space. I'm looking at companies to invest in this area because I think there's a lot of upside with it, and it's a really controversial area to be in right now, right? It's just like if you're an investor in the marijuana sector. Pot stocks were really hot for a while around January and February. That's kind of where my mind is with it, right? So whenever you have some sort of innovative industry, you have to always remember that there are going to be people who aren't always for that. So you just really have to stick to your guns, and if you truly believe that it's something to invest in, of course you can make your own decision on it. So that's kind of where my mind is. I'm very open-minded. I'm an open-minded person. I always have been. So if there are companies out here that are trying other holistic ways and natural ways to, combat anxiety so people don't have to be on SSRIs, I think that's huge. So it's something that I really look forward to. So we get to see just who is MYND Life Sciences. It's a life sciences drug development company that aggressively advancing psilocybin-based medicines to help treat mental illness. The company's treatment is being developed to treat major depressive disorder, MDD, and bring much-needed innovation to the antiquated multi-billion-dollar SSRI market. So we have the world-class R&D facilities. We have the world-class research team led by Dr. Wilf Jeffries. We have industry-leading R&D
and experience management as well. 2021 could be a game-changing year for the company. At the moment, MYND is planning for several clinical trials to establish the efficacy of its novel diagnostics and therapeutics, with plans to rapidly commence these in Q4 of 2021. A clinical trial to address a novel marker for diagnosing and monitoring, both qualitatively and quantitatively, depression in response to psilocybin treatment, as well as various psychedelics. A clinical trial to address the therapeutic impact of psilocybin and psilocybin analogs as anti-inflammatories and diminishing cytokine storm related to today's health predicament. Just to name a couple right there. MYND 604 program for MDD, for example, is being developed to treat MDD and bring much needed innovation to the antiquated multi-billion-dollar SSRI market. Are psychedelics like psilocybin useful for mental health issues? It sure looks that way. For one, the US FDA is backing research into psilocybin. 2018, for example, the agency recognized psilocybin as breakthrough therapy for depression. 2 clinical studies from the likes of Johns Hopkins and New York universities are already showing positive results. A study from JAMA Psychiatry just found out that psilocybin worked better than the usual antidepressant medications, as noted by NPR. Major cities in Colorado, California, Michigan, Oregon, Washington, D.C. have decriminalized and taken significant strides for legal psychedelics-assisted therapy. Canada, Health Canada allowed 4 terminal cancer patients to undergo end-of-life care with psilocybin. Public regulatory opinion regarding psychedelics is changing. 2021 will be the time that psychedelic therapy casts a spotlight on the limitations of current mental health care treatments and highlights a bold alternative, according to Wired UK. We also have their strong management. You guys can take a look at the management team in the link in the description. I'm going to link this company so you guys can do a little bit more research on them. Enough time in the market to get a good moving average basis for them. So I would say just look for them, right? Anytime a stock IPOs, I usually wait it out a little bit before hopping in, but I still think anytime a stock does IPO, it's important to keep an eye on it, right? Because like Airbnb, for example, had really ripped and then pulled back, and now there's a great setup on that trade, of course. So we're looking at a bunch of different stocks right now, and when it comes to MYND or MYND, it's awesome to watch a stock, how it moves after IPO. This would help you guys setting up for any sort of trading that you plan on doing or long-term investing. I like all the companies that are in this space. I think it's a really interesting space, and there's a lot of breakthrough stuff that'll happen. Now it's just, when do we have the investors behind this, right? When do we get the investors to come in and help push these sectors that are so brand new and also controversial? I truly think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, especially in a market that we're in today. So that's going to be everything for me in this video, guys. I really appreciate all the support if you guys made it this far, and I'm super excited to have another sponsored video. But that's going to be everything for me. Just remember to always do your own due diligence before investing in a company, and it's always important to do your own technical research and anything else behind that. Of course, this is a sponsored video. Everything that I say in this video is my opinion, of course. So that's going to be everything for me in this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.